Hey everyone, I'm Joshua Arce of Joshua Reviews Movies and More, and as you can see by the title, we're gonna be going over the reason why Warner Brothers Discovery should be bringing back Zack Snyder, and why the DCEU was actually a success. So we're gonna go ahead and get into it. Okay, so guys, listen, and you guys also have to remember that the DCEU was doing way better financially than, by the way, mind the clothes in the background. It's a mess, I know. The DCEU was doing better financially than the MCU when it first started. Man of Steel made $668 million. Iron Man only made $585 million. Batman vs. Superman made $787 million, or it could be $870. It made around $700 to $800 million, and The Incredible Hulk made $268 million. And the original Suicide Squad made I'll put the thing right here, and yeah, but it did better than, I can't remember the movie, but it did better than, I believe it was one of the Thor movies. So, guys, by the way, that movie made more than Iron Man 2. I got that wrong. Wonder Woman made more than, I believe it was Thor 1. So, it's another reason. Anyway, back to the video. So, I'll also put that right here. Anyway, guys. People were excited about the DCEU. By the way, I also believe that Batman vs. Superman made $1 billion, but I think Warner Brothers legit covered it up so that they had an excuse to go in a different direction. Anyway, guys, people were excited. Fans were excited. They were going to the movie theaters. My brother in the background. They were going to the movies. Sure, Wonder Woman 1984 didn't do so well, and James Gunn's Suicide Squad also bombed, by the way. But then again, those were during the pandemic, and people weren't really going to the movies. Then we have Black Adam that came out after the pandemic, and it made over $400 million. People were starting to go to the movie theaters again. They had announced that Henry Cavill was coming back, and Henry had posted that video saying that more content with Man of Steel and everything was coming. And David Zaslav had said that he was continuing with the Trinity and with everything, and we all thought that the ship had finally been corrected and we were going to move on from all that. Well, people like to say trash, but I call it a success. So, yeah, guys, listen. You could tell people were excited, or at least interested, in what Snyder had planned. If Warner Brothers Discovery had gone with that original slate that they had announced in San Diego Comic-Con, with, you know, the Cyborg Project and the Flash movie. Not the Flash movie we have now, but the Flash movie with the actual comic-accurate Flashpoint storyline, we wouldn't be here today, fellas. We would not be having to go through a DC reboot if the studio had just handled things better. But they didn't. They didn't, unfortunately. They made some very bad calls. For whatever reason, they decided to announce the whole reboot before The Flash came out, and that's why it's doing so poorly. They decided to announce that Henry Cavill was leaving before The Flash came out, which is why it's failing. The studios have made some questionable decisions, and listen, guys, I know people don't like to admit it, but people were interested, okay? Like, and the movies were... Sorry, my phone cut out on me. Mind the mess back there. Anyway, guys, the And the tablet might cut out on me too, so I might have to continue this tomorrow. But guys, listen. The movies were actually decent. Now the original Suicide Squad, we don't need to talk about that. Batfleck was in it though. Ben Affleck's Batman was in it. That was cool. But guys, come on. I think we all need to face this fact that Snyder was doing a much better job than whatever Gunn has planned. Snyder actually had a plan. Sure, Gunn has too, but it looks like it's going to fail at the moment. And Snyder's vision was doing way better. The Flash is literally made $55 million opening weekend. And only $9 million opening day. Those both are lower than they projected. At first, when, all the reviews were coming out after CinemaCon, they had projected that it was going to make $100 to $130 million. Then it tanked. Then the fan screenings happened, and they tanked to $70 to $75 million. And it made less than that. People were thinking it was going to make, at least get to 90. $55 million, people. And that's all due to Gunn's changes in the movie. Same thing is going to happen with Aquaman. I'll be surprised if that movie makes any money. Because the director has come out and said that he doesn't even know what the story is anymore because of how many times the studio and Gunn keep changing it. Jason Momoa basically said the same thing, that the movie has become too silly. That has Gunn written all over it. So, that post-credit scene of The Flash had Gunn written all over it. So, anyway, guys, we need to march up to Warner Brothers Discovery and demand that they correct the ship and have Snyder come back and finish what he started so that they can make money. Because, I don't know if you guys know this, but Warner Brothers is actually in debt from all the stupid decisions that they made. So, if anything's gonna make them money, it's Snyder. Look how well Zack Snyder's Justice League did on HBO Max. Everyone literally got HBO Max just to watch that. It made them money. So, guys, let's all band together and let's all make sure that DC is headed in the right direction and not in the wrong direction like it is doing literally right now as we speak. So, anyway, I am excited for Blue Beetle though. I think that's going to be the only good DC movie that we get this year. But The Flash was decent, but it has a lot of flaws, and I'll go over that in another video. But I will see you all in another video. Hang on, I'm sorry, but I also thought Shazam! Fury of the Gods was good. For whatever reason, I thought that came out last year, but it just now popped into my head that it actually came out this year in March. So, I actually found Shazam! Fury of the Gods very enjoyable, and that review will be going up shortly. Not that shortly, but shortly.